Is anything real anymore? The Victorian Labor government now, it's investigating claims that up to 10 staff and visitors at a country hospital posed as urgent care patients during a visit by the Health Minister, Mary-Ann Thomas. This is one of the official photos of the visit, showing the Minister at a hospital bedside, none of the fake patients to be seen. She insists she had no idea.
If these allegations prove to be true, this is a very significant breach of trust that has been perpetrated by some in the health service, and I certainly would take a very dim view of any employees or others who have been involved in this.
So many Labor politicians, by the way, are wearing akubras. I might have something to say about that. Joining me is Louise Elliott, business consultant, Hobart City Councillor, and James McPherson of the Late Debate here on Sky News at 10 tonight, for instance. James, is anything real now? We've got fake promises, we've got fake patients, we've got AI generating fake people, fake Aborigines like Bruce Pascoe. Fake.
Well, I'll tell you what was real, and that was the booze for Anthony Albanese at the tennis. That was very real. But you could add to your list of fake things. Let's add Sports Illustrated cover girls. More often than not, they turn out to be men these days. We could add United Nations relief agencies. Turns out most of those are fronts for Hamas, and on it goes. But this is a bizarre story. I mean, you've got to hand it to these hospital staff. By getting staff to behave as patients, they create the impression that they are, one, understaffed, and B, overworked. So it's a pretty smart way to try and get more funding. But I would have thought the Victorian Health Minister was used to playing pretend at hospitals. After all, doesn't Victoria have 4,000 imaginary ICU beds provided by Daniel Andrews?
Oh, yes, it did indeed. All those machines that it hired and said, we're going to run out, and never used. And oh my gosh. But Louise, something that shocked me. You were elected to represent ratepayers of Hobart, but I understand a code of conduct panel has suspended you, but there's no reason given as to why. Your colleagues won't say why. What's going on? What did you do?
So the reason it's confidential is because I've appealed the decision. I'm taking it to the court because, in my opinion, when I saw the determination report, I thought that's blatantly wrong and unfair. So I'm taking the matter higher. So that's the reason it's not confidential. But what I can say, that's the reason it is confidential. But what I can say is that this is part of a growing trend where councillors at the local government level are seen as easy targets, and the noose is getting tighter and tighter around local councillors' necks in terms of what they can and can't say. It's really concerning. It's happening all across Australia, and it's really worrying in terms of free speech and democracy because, local councillors are elected to represent their community, not to comply with the latest woke mantra.
Yeah, but James, this is fundamentally undemocratic. I think it's about the third such case I've heard of councillors being stopped from doing their job, silenced, forced to go re-education programs. You know, this can't go on. I mean, this is anti-democratic. Louise was elected by ratepayers, and they are the ones that should determine whether she sits in Parliament or not, in the council or not, surely.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the one silver lining in this cloud is I'm pretty sure the Hobart Council have guaranteed that Louise will be re-elected, as she should be, because anyone with half a brain in Tasmania will realise what is happening and make sure they vote for her next time she's up for election.
Hey Louise, tonight Powerball offering its record jackpot, $200 million. It's enough to make some pensioner super rich. Well, the thing I think of when I see these figures, $200 million, that's how much Australians have actually handed over to Powerball to buy some hope. There's an awful lot of hope they're buying.
It is an awful lot of hope, but I'm the first to admit I've got my ticket. So in about an hour's time, you won't see me for dust when my winning numbers come up. But in terms of, it's a heap of money. It's absolutely life-changing, and I know what I'd be doing with it. I'd, make sure that all your loved ones are safe and sound, and I would be donating a lot of it because there's no way one person needs that much money.